talking about? Wait! Okay, now, from the beginning.
Hit it, boys. What are you talking about?
Hey everyone, welcome into the Arena, a Multiplatform Gaming News Podcast. This is episode 125. I'm your host, Expat, along with my co-hosts, Burley of Burleyman Gaming and Turn-Based Carl. How you guys doing on this fine March Saturday?
March is here.
Yes.
It's happening already.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Burley, how you doing?
I'm doing good. I still can't believe we're already in March.
Yeah.
The time is flying.
Yep. Time is flying by. Almost the first quarter of the year already done.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Get spring and winter will be over.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
coming.
I can't wait for that.
Yeah. Which means all of us gamers will still be inside playing video games.
This is true.
It's
true.
like,
Right,
do we ever go outside? So,
I'm glad we
Yes,
got
every
some
morning for a walk.
yeah.
Glad we got some big June releases. You know, you got Diablo 4 and
So much coming out this year.
Final Fantasy 16 and possibly Starfield. So
Yeah, possibly.
your-
Let's hope so.
start your summer with a bang, everyone. Stay inside.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and we're going to be talking about Final Fantasy 16 in this episode. So yeah, we got a great show for you. We're going to be talking about the Pokemon Presents. So Burley's going to be talking a lot about that. We're going to be also talking about Elden Ring is coming out with DLC. So our reactions to that. Final Fantasy 16, we have some gameplay that was shown off. We're going to react to that and talk about Final Fantasy 16. And then our topic of the show, games that were overshadowed by bigger games. So we're going to be talking about especially Horizon. We're going to be talking about that. And then, of course, Game Pass, as well as our picks of the week for the week of March 6th through the 12th. But before we get into that, all the topics that we're going to talk about in this episode, and before we talk about the games that we have been playing this past week, here's a brief word about where you can find the podcast in video and audio formats.
Before the crew discuss what they have been playing, this episode of The Arena, a multi-platform gaming news podcast's ad-free version in audio and video formats, will be going to Patreon after being recorded. So if you would like to support the show and become a patron at the entry tier 1 level at $1 per month and get every episode including exclusive ad-free post-show content in video format when recorded, please visit patreon.com/thearena_podcast for further details. The audio version of the podcast will be uploaded to all free podcast services, where you can find us on any podcast app for iOS or Android, and in the video version will be on our YouTube channel, The Arena Productions. For the audio version, just download your favorite podcast app and search for The Arena, a multi-platform gaming news podcast. Subscribe, follow us, post a review, and leave us questions, comments, and feedback if you like, if that feature is available there, and spread the word about the podcast. We also have a Discord called The Arena Podcast, where you can join and chat with the Arena Podcast community, and the podcast audio website is at thearenapodcast.podbean.com, where you can follow us and leave questions and comments as well. For all information regarding the podcast and our entertainment and pop culture related content, along with our blog and forums, visit the official website of The Arena Productions at www.thearenaproductions.com. Finally, you can also follow us on Twitter at The Arena, AMPGNP, as well as on Instagram at The Arena_podcast. Now, back to the show.
Okay, guys, I'll go first. I actually played some games this week. Yay! So first, on PlayStation 5, I've been playing The Quarry, which is, of course, from Supermassive Games, the developers of Until Dawn. And it is very much like Until Dawn, except it's in the summertime instead of in the winter season. And it's, of course, a bunch of teenage, late teenage year kids, going off to this, like a summer retreat. And yeah, it's just like Until Dawn. It's very much like the Dark Pictures anthology series games. Basically, you make choices, and those choices have ramifications throughout the game. You can pick up clues throughout the game as you're going around. There's these like little cards, almost like tarot cards. I picked up in the very beginning the Joker card, Burley. We were talking about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And obviously there's a kind of an old lady similar to the man in the library in the Dark Pictures anthology games that will give you hints about things that are going to be happening in the game that, could affect the outcome of, your situation. So I'm having fun with that. So I'm still in the beginning chapters of it, but I'm really enjoying it, just like I enjoyed Until Dawn. On the Switch, I don't know if you guys have heard of this game. Yeah, I do have a Switch, guys. I was playing the Switch. I was playing...
You are in Japan. They issue everyone a Switch, right?
Exactly. Yeah. So I was playing kind of an older game. It came out in 2019, but it's called Daemon Machina. I don't know if you guys have heard of that game. Yeah. It's kind of like a Gundam style game, Mobile Suit Gundam. But yeah, I was playing a little bit of that, just going through some of the stuff that I have on my Switch. And then on Xbox Series X, I'm playing Wolong Fallen Dynasty. So the new game that just came out. I don't know how you guys feel about character creation, but sometimes I kind of just wish that I would just have a static character or just a pre-made character and just get into the game and start playing. But it's like I sit there for like 20 to 30 minutes playing with the character customization. And I chose a woman. I chose a female character. And I named her Ji for Zhang Ji, who is, of course, a famous Chinese actress. I don't know if you remember Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, one of my one of my favorite films that she was in. That was one of her first films. I customized my character kind of like Zhang Ji, and playing her, of course, in the
I get
Han.
that kind of paralysis of like, oh my god, this is like robust character builder, and I want to make this like really good character that that I put a lot of time into, that feels like my character. But then I did really appreciate Hogwarts Legacy's character creator, because it's actually pretty simple and your character always comes out looking good. So I was like, I don't really, I that was nice that you didn't have to put a lot of effort into it.
Yeah. But anyway, I like I said, I created a female character, and so going through, it's the Han Dynasty, it's like 194, CE, and you're going through this burning village, and that's when you start learning how to use the combat techniques and all, the combos that you need to use. A lot of the X and the Y button and the left thumbstick are being utilized in this game. A lot of jumping, and starting to learn parrying as well. So, there's a lot to this game. There's the level ups that are pretty complex, which when you go into the screen for level ups, it's all about the elements, earth, fire, water, wood, things like that. And then you build up, and it's as you're running around with your character, it's almost like kind of like there's these souls on the ground, and you pick them up, and it gives you like it's almost like a health regenerator in a sense. So I'm just getting started with it, but it's fun. I'm playing on kind of like when it comes to the high frame rate level. The higher frame rate is the section that I chose to play this game under. And it runs really well. It's a pretty game so far. So Wolong Fallen Dynasty. So hopefully I have a little bit more to talk about for it next week, as well as the Quarry as well. Burley, let's go to you. What have you been playing, man?
Well, the obvious big one, Hogwarts Legacy.
Still,
I'm having a lot of fun, and I actually just did the PlayStation exclusive quest.
Mhm.
I must say that
Yeah.
was a really good quest.
Uh-huh.
It's like almost it can take you up to 2 hours. It is which
Wow.
is
2
if you've played
hours?
Hogwarts.
What?
Yeah,
There's
no,
like
it's
no quests that are 2 hours in that game.
this
Well, come
one
on,
is
Carl,
trust-
because it's PlayStation exclusive. That's why.
I know,
Exactly.
like, all this
because
shit.
it's on a real console. No,
It's-
I'm kidding.
You know what?
Kidding,
You're probably
kidding.
right.
If anyone actually thinks I'm serious on that,
If I had
No,
the sound bites going on now, I would have did the slap one right there. Psh, yeah.
Yeah.
Man, the PS5
Well
gets
deserved.
the best performance all the time now, right?
exactly.
On a couple games.
It's a good length quest, and like it doesn't feel as long as it does, but I kind of wish, as nice as it is, and the reward you get at the end, I wish there was more. Like it doesn't even give you EXP, which is something I kind of really
Really?
would have thought. Yeah, no, it's stupid like that.
I thought every
You're-
quest you complete gives you some amount.
Not this quest. That's the one thing. That's the one drawback. But I'm getting very close to the end of the story, but doing side content. I'm going down the one character, Sebastian, his story,
Yeah,
because
this is good.
that's how you learn the unforgivable curses. Plus, it's
Mhm.
a really interesting story with him, his sister, and his family.
Does Sebastian
really-
look like a crab, Burley?
No,
Yeah,
but he
You
is
know
a
what I'm
Slytherin.
referring to, right? Yeah.
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 My wife likes the
Yeah.
Poppy Sweeting side
Yeah,
story
yeah.
because the whole, she wants to save the beasts from the poachers.
Yeah, that is a good one. Like that is something I must say. Like they do make the side content in this game, like the really good side content, it makes you really want to keep going and just doing it.
Yeah, they have some good stuff.
Yeah.
But I've also been playing a little bit of Engage. I didn't get through much this week on Fire Emblem Engage,
Fire Emblem.
but still really enjoying it.
Nice. Carl, how about you? Still in Hogwarts?
Just Hogwarts.
Yeah.
Lots of Hogwarts.
Uh.
Both 2 different characters, I'm trying
So
to get
those,
to
so
the,
those 2 different
yeah.
characters, who has more playtime right now? Yours?
No, the main one with me
Huh?
and my wife, because
Okay.
every night she's just like, yeah, let's play the game, play it.
Nice.
I'm like, all right, I will play this video game, no
Nice.
problem.
Yeah.
So I've been playing that. So that one I'm like level 30, 32 or 3,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't know how close I am to the end. I mean, there's the 4 portraits. I'll say. I mean,
Okay, quick
yeah,
question
game,
for you
I'll
guys.
understand that.
Quick question for you guys. Is there a max out level in this game? Like level 100 or level 150?
Level 40.
Level 40. Okay.
Yeah, so I'm pretty close to max level. Now you don't need to be max level, as far as I know, to beat the game, obviously.
Yeah.
Go.
So I'm probably like leveled enough for the end of the game, however close I am to it.
Nice.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm getting there.
Cool.
Yeah, I mean, if you go to that southern region also, which you can go to at any time, but like nothing, I think stuff takes you there sort of later in the actual main quests.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Which is like this other region that's you have to go through like a cave to get into, and there's higher level stuff there, but basically more of the same stuff.
I see. Cool.
Yeah, but yeah, man, it's great. I got there's only one more beast I haven't gotten yet.
Uh-huh.
That's another
Is
special-
there a character in the game that is kind of like a precursor to Hagrid? I mean, like maybe someone like Hagrid, but before Hagrid.
Nah.
There's a groundskeeper guy, but like he's not.
Okay.
He's
not
nothing like
Hagrid. Yeah.
Okay.
There's no one like Hagrid.
Okay.
Like I know some of the professors, you can kind of link them to what the future professors would be in Harry Potter.
Okay.
But the professors and all the other characters do feel unique. They're not just like, hey, we needed this, so we'll just take inspiration and just take this character from the books and movies and just change their name, change their look, and be like, they're the same character.
Okay.
Yeah, there really isn't any of that.
Okay.
I do kind of wish you had a bit more time with some of the professors. Like they have character, but you don't do a lot with them in the main quests.
Okay.
Yeah, obviously Professor Fig, because he's like from the
plot.
beginning, he's with you. Yeah, he's part of the main plot.
I see.
But yeah, all the other characters, like Professor Weasley, she's fairly important, but she doesn't get too involved with the plot.
Okay.
The main plot.
I see.
Oh, just you wait till you get a little bit further.
Yeah, I
You
guess
get
you got further in the main plot. I've done a lot of like side stuff too. Also, like
I'm close to the end, and I can say there is one mission in this game. I will not reveal anything, other than the art style changes. For those that have played,
yeah.
Oh, the one. Okay, that
that's
is
one
a
of the
mission.
Trials, right?
Yeah, one of the last trials.
Yeah,
but that is a mission. I have made a save point before you go in there. I want to go back and play again. It's just it was just such a fun section, and as you keep going, they respect the lore in there, and just get some really cool stuff.
Nice.
Yeah, that they had some touches from stuff from that we know. Yeah, occasionally you get into things where like, oh yeah, I know this from the lore from the books and things.
Nice.
That one was pretty obvious if you were paying attention. And the change in art style, that's something I really appreciate with this game is that in the main quest line, you will go to and see a lot of unique areas. And it's, a lot of open world games is kind of like, yeah, you're just going to the locations that you would expect, but like this has some like some pretty vibrant different things going on in the main quest line, which is awesome.
Nice. All righty, guys. All right, it's time to get into the weekly news beat. So earlier in the week, we had a Pokemon Presents, guys. Pokemon, and got some news. Of course, Pokemon Day was last Monday. And Burley, take it away, man. What did we get in this Pokemon Presents?
I was duped into watching this.
Okay.
Duped by Burley, right?
Yeah, it was. You got me.
This event, I started watching it live, and then unfortunately all hell broke loose at work, so I had to go away, and I'm kind of glad I did, because a lot of this was just not a good event. Like they did, I knew they were going to spend time on the trading card game and being like, ooh, we're going to bring back the original cards in this original game, trading card game, but give you none of the real info, so you have no idea for that. It's like, really? Yeah. And they still didn't even give. They were pushing a lot of side games and stuff I don't care about. But one of the things they did, they were like, we're going to give Scarlet and Violet is getting DLC. We're not going to show you any gameplay of it. You're going to get one in the fall and one in the winter, because the thing is, let's be honest, when Scarlet and Violet came out, people were picking it apart because of how it ran. They know they still haven't got the game running as well as it should be. So they know if they show any footage, it's going to get picked apart to death. So they're like, yeah, we're getting this. More Pokemon are coming to the game. They still haven't given you a date for when the Pokemon Home / Pokemon Bank integration works with Scarlet and Violet, and so you can bring your older Pokemon up. Yeah. Still haven't given us that. They're saying it's coming early 2023, and it's like, this was at the end of February. We're now in March. It's like, okay, I think we're getting past the early part of 2023. Yeah. What are we going? Like first quarter? End of first quarter, we go into second quarter on this. Yeah. It's just like they missed the mark on this so badly. We were thinking and hoping, a lot of people were hoping for the older games into the Switch Online for the Game Boy stuff.
Yeah, right. That would no-brainer.
Yeah. Well, that's a no-brainer. That will boost subscriptions. One thing, and it will just really help, especially like if they would have had that, and that day said, oh, there's the update for Scarlet and Violet with Pokemon Bank thing update in there, so you have that, it would have just been a slam dunk. But no, both those we don't have. I don't think we're going to get the older games on Pokemon on the Game Boy thing I don't think that's going to happen because Nintendo and Pokemon Company are really weird and stupid with this stuff. Like,
Okay, one thing I gotta say, and I got duped into watching this. All you viewers and listeners, I got duped into watching this by Burley as well. So,
yeah,
Burley,
yeah.
did you pre-order your Pokemon Sleep?
God, no.
No, you mean his Pokemon Go Plus.
What the heck was that, Burley? I'm waiting for like the DLC for Scarlet and Violet, and I'm looking for any information on any new kind of Pokemons and stuff, and then they talk about Pokemon Sleep.
Do you know how much that Pokemon Plus is?
Enlighten me, Burley. Enlighten me.
It must be absurd.
Here in Canada, $74.99.
Are you kidding?
I am not kidding you.
Well, let me look at the American price. It's $55.
For tax. Like, that is criminal.
So it'd be like in Japan, like Gosen, Rokusen yen, somewhere in there. Oh.
Yeah, like them tracking your sleep data is like, no, thank you. Like I have a Fitbit and I use that to check my sleep.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like it as much anymore because Google bought them. I don't want Nintendo and Pokemon Company having my sleep data. And the other benefit they're using to sell this is like, oh, if you still play Pokemon Go, you don't have to have your phone open no matter what. You just put this in your pocket, your backpack or whatever. It'll just go and catch Pokemon for you, spin the stops, and drain the hell out of your battery and use all up your data because we're going to just be doing that. It's like, no.
So now you can walk with your Pokemon all day and you can sleep with your Pokemon all night. I mean, in your head, imagine.
Do you remember what they're doing? What they're doing out here, guys? Do you remember the Tamagotchis? Did you guys have those out there in the U.S. and Canada?
Tamagotchis?
Yeah, that's how I would say it. Tamagotchi.
No. It's Tamagotchi. That's how it's pronounced. That's the correct pronunciation out here in Japan. But anyway, back in the 1990s, a bunch of kids. It was a complete and utter just craze fad out here in Japan for kids, and they slept with them. They had to take care of them, and then ultimately they died, and then you'd have to get another one. But that's just the same premise of what they're doing here, I mean, it's the Tamagotchis all over again.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, this DLC is $35. What? And on top of that, I was looking at this link here. You actually have to buy the DLC specific to Scarlet or Violet.
Yeah, they're crazy like that. They did that with Sword and Shield.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
With the Isle of Armor expansion and all that.
Yeah, it's messed up, man. That is like, I don't know. And I can't believe I'm watching this thing, right? And they're like, if you have Scarlet or you have Violet, there's this Pokemon and there's that Pokemon. And you're charging $35 for DLC, and you're gonna give me only one of these goddamn things? Come on, what the hell is this?
You're gonna to give them a little credit here because I have played their last DLC offering with Sword and Shield. The first one, I thought was okay. It's not the greatest. The story on the DLC was good. I thought it was a neat thing because you got this new Pokemon and how you trained it and did the challenges, the trials on there and worked it up. Depending which version you were, you got the one evolution. And it was a neat little kind of story thing they did. It's just exploring the island after that. Do it for the side stuff of the new Pokemon just felt boring. Whereas the second one, the story wasn't too bad. And it was kind of neat because they integrated some new legendaries that they made. But the real cool thing they added was this dungeon mode called, I forget what it was called, but what it was is you could get up to 3 of your friends or 3 AI. You have to pick, they give you random 4 to 6 Pokemon, I can't remember. You each pick and you go through like a raid dungeon. And as you knock out Pokemon going through, you can catch them and use them. And at the end, you got to a legendary. If you beat the legendary, you can throw a Pokeball and you instantly catch it. It was a lot of fun, and it was a big thing for quite a while.
Mhm.
Okay.
So it's like if they're gonna put out quality DLC like that for Scarlet and Violet, I'm all for it. I haven't pre-ordered the DLC because I want to see before I jump in and put my money down. So I'm giving them a little bit of the benefit of the doubt, but I need to see before I'll go to the DLC. Like right now, they added one Pokemon for Scarlet and one Pokemon for Violet. It's in an update right now that I've downloaded and installed. I just have not sat and taken the time.
Question for you guys. Okay, I'm going to throw this out there. So we got information about the DLC for Scarlet and Violet. So what do you guys think when it comes to this coming holiday season? Will we not get a new Pokemon this year? Because now they're focusing on DLC, which will be coming out in the fall and winter season.
We're gonna get a spin-off game this year. Like that, I'm just waiting for the shoe to drop on that. But the DLC will be the main stuff this year. For the main stuff, they're not going to do a third game in Gen 9. I doubt they're, especially with how old the Switch is and how the engines are. I doubt they're doing Gen 5 remakes this year.
So if it's a spin-off game, Burley, how long would it be then? I mean, would it not just be another like long-winded DLC?
Depends, like, because they could make another one of those puzzle leagues or something like that. Make a shorter game.
Okay,
because they have a lot of
Snap 2, 3. I guess
3,
maybe.
3. I don't think they'll do like as. I don't think new Snap stayed well long. Like it came out and then just kind of, and then they added free content to try and get it to stay.
Okay.
Yeah, there might not be one because I mean, if you're going fall and winter for your DLC, I mean, it's kind of
Yeah, why would you promote a new game?
Now?
Why would you promote a new game when you want people to buy the DLC? So.
But remember, this is the same company that threw out Arceus in January and another game in Scarlet and Violet in November.
Yeah, but how many years have they done that though?
Never really, right? I don't think they've always had like
never. They never usually do 2 mainline games in a year. They only usually do a mainline and a couple sides, 1 or 2 sides in a year.
Right. So this was a first for them to do that. So I don't know. This is
So
just me. Just my speculation is I don't think they would do that again. I don't know.
I hope not.
Yeah. We shall see.
Hope not.
We shall see. Okay, let's move on. So, that's enough about Pokemon for now. I'm sure that we'll hear more later this year about if we're going to get a new Pokemon mainline game or not. But so next up, Elden Ring. So we're getting DLC. Shadow of the Erd Tree is what it's called. So you can check out, of course, for you video viewers, the link is below here from IGN. Shadow of the Erd Tree expansion announced. So the developer confirmed that the DLC is currently in development. No release date has been announced for the time being. The news came in the form of tweets from the official Elden Ring and From Software Twitter accounts, with each tweet also featuring new key artwork for the expansion. And you can see one of them here on the video. But I mean, we knew this was coming. I mean, obviously, you have a game so successful. To not have DLC, it would kind of be strange, but I don't know. I mean, how long of a DLC do you think this will be, guys? I mean, the Shadow of the Erd Tree. I mean, it must deal specifically with one part of the mainline game that probably has some significant boss battle in it.
Yeah, I don't really know enough about these Souls games DLC, what kind of stuff they put out. I couldn't tell you, if it's gonna. I'm sure it'll be a sizable thing, like because it seems like they're making a big deal with the way they're announcing. Well, you see, the announcement to me was like the lamest possible announcement because we all expected this was coming, and they put out a tweet with a picture and the title and say, "Yep, we're working on it." And that's it.
Yeah, and it was right after the 1 year anniversary of the mainline game, which has now sold over 20 million copies. 20 million copies.
Yeah. You had nothing. You had nothing. No trailer, no release date.
Nope.
Not even at like an event or anything. Like, there's events before this or after you could have done. You're like, nah, here's a tweet.
Yeah.
Hey guys.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like, it might not even come out this year. We don't know.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
You probably will, right?
I don't know.
Oh.
I don't know
I could see that. I could see this coming late year. Like as Carl, I agree with Carl. Both of you. Like the announcement to this was just weak. This just like felt like, fine, we should just put something out. Like, if you're not gonna show, like you might as well just said we have DLC coming, more info coming in the coming weeks. That way you get people excited and all this. You just showing and giving so little info, people are like, okay, can you give me anything more? And then just play cricket sound here because they're not saying anything.
Cricket sound. There you go. Yeah.
It's just like, okay, if you're going to announce the name, give a static image here. We want more. Like, how is this going to be paid? Obviously, this is going to be paid DLC because they're not going to give free DLC to this game.
No.
Like this.
No.
They'd be leaving money off the table.
Yeah. Well, one person that's super happy about this.
I know a few people.
Jeff Keighley. Yeah,
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
it's like he had the bulging eyes on his tweet. Of course, when they said, that the DLC is coming at some point. But I don't know. Like I said, it could be 2024 when this comes out. Who knows? And kind of off topic, but a game that was pushed back to 2024 that we had some news about this week as well, and I'm really super looking forward to playing. The Wolf Among Us 2, unfortunately, pushed to 2024. But oh well. So
like
As-
Hogwarts. Oh, sorry.
I was gonna say, just to kind of go back talking on Elden Ring, like their DLCs, from what I know from hearing from other Souls players, they are hit and miss, and like some of them are like 5 to 10 hours worth of content.
Yeah,
I'm gonna imagine because of how popular Elden Ring and selling so well, I think this is gonna go into the 10 to 15 hours mark. They're gonna have a lot of bosses, a big area for you to go to, new and a lot of new stuff, because they know they just fans are craving and wanting more content. That little arena is not that they added.
yeah, the
is not
Coliseum
enough.
arena.
Coliseum, yeah.
Yeah. So.
Do you see how they said Hogwarts Legacy? They don't have any DLC planned at the moment.
Yeah.
Which is
At the moment, it's
popular.
coming.
Well, I mean, if you haven't planned it yet, I don't know. At this point,
Yeah,
I would just skip to a sequel because
maybe they're just being tight-lipped about it, Carl.
Yeah, well, they're busy working on the Xbox One, PS4, and a Switch port.
Yeah,
Which
I like it. The Switch.
The Switch port.
Hey, it's for the Switch 2. It's for the Switch 2, guys.
It's definitely not, and I don't know how it's going to look and run on the Switch. I'm be very interested to see, because it's a beautiful game, and it has performance issues on even the Xbox Series X, and part of that is I assume poor optimization sometimes. But it's really Hogwarts, the castle area, that has the most issues, because that area is just an incredibly dense, so many different rooms, so much different original, interesting, detailed architecture, and textures everywhere, and there's just so much to look at, and things that are moving all the time. There's so much animation. Like, that area is going to probably have to have huge compromises, like lower geometry, lower texture. I don't know how they're gonna pull it off on Switch. That's probably their big focus right now. Is like, how do we cram this onto the Switch? We don't have time for DLC, guys. We gotta get it on the Switch.
I still think
Well-
all of these games will be ported over to the new Switch whenever, like next year.
Whenever
And
that happens.
Yeah, I don't know, man, but I mean, it's like it depends on the specs of the next Switch, so we shall see. But
But
who knows?
Carl, since you were talking so much about the Switch version, there are you offering to buy the Switch version and do the comparison for us
Yes,
between
there you
the
go.
Series X and the Switch
go.
version?
Yeah, it ain't gonna happen.
All right, guys.
If someone wants to gift it to me, I'll play it.
Well, let's take a look.
You might regret that.
Well, yeah. So
Bust
anyway,
out my Switch Lite. Like, yes.
so anyway,
Hold on, guys. I'm gonna cast Flipendo. There we go. Now the animation just went through.
Yeah. Okay, guys. Next up, Final Fantasy 16. It's coming out on June 22nd. Obviously, they're saying that there would have to be a meteor to fall on Japan for Final Fantasy 16 to be delayed. But I don't think that's going to happen. Hopefully not, because then, of course, expat would perish before you guys. So, yeah, I don't think so. But anyway, we got a preview of it, and I'm going to go ahead and show you that as we discuss what we think of Final Fantasy 16. So, and this was from the developer Square Enix. It was a special version made for media to experience. And the contents of this that we're showing now here in the video version may differ from the final version from what Square Enix says. So from what we're seeing here, this is basically like pulled from around 5 hours into the story from what they say. And it's mostly combat focused, the segment, and contains a trio of boss battles. Probably we're not going to show all of it, but we're going to show some of it here. And it basically, focuses on Clive, this story. So anyway, lots of, and what one of the media people was saying was that it kind of reminded him of the boss battles in Shadow of the Colossus for the size of the bosses that you're going to be fighting in this particular Final Fantasy game. So anyway, what are you guys' feelings about Final Fantasy 16? So the directors, and the director says that it's not going to be delayed, so that means June 22nd. So what are your guys' thoughts on this?
Quick on the date. Did you see the thing about the PC version?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Where he said that, it's a 6-month timed exclusivity on PS5. So they paid specifically to not let it be on PC day one.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But then he's like, but also we're like kind of gonna work on that, and it's not gonna happen in 6 months, guys. Don't expect it on PC in 6 months. I was like, God damn, like Sony, you really paid for that to not be on PC? Like, that's messed up.
Well, just think, Carl, we're going to talk about this later on in the show. That's probably in one of the documents that they have to submit to Microsoft now. Yeah, so we shall see. But anyway, for you video viewers, of course, the article from IGN where they have their Final Fantasy 16 preview is below here for you to go and check out later on. So anyway, what are you guys' thoughts on the game?
Who wants to go?
Burley, you go first.
Okay. I really like this, seeing more of this game. The combat is going to get a bit to be different, get used to. Like I've played every main line. Like I know this is way more actiony RPG compared to 15.
Mm-hmm.
So this is going to be interesting and get used to that. And since you're mainly only really playing as Clive, they said especially for the boss battles, this is it's going to take a bit to get used to. And like they've got what's his face, what's his name, the director of Devil May Cry 5 is heavily involved in this for the action and stuff like that. So this will be interesting.
Mhm.
Uh,
Yeah, Devil
from
May
what-
Cry and Dragon's Dogma.
Dragon's Dogma. That's right. Yes.
So Suzuki Ryoto-san. Yeah, that's his name, Suzuki-san. So.
Yeah. The boss battles that they show off really look interesting, and you going between you trying to fight the summons and then you summoning your summon. I forget what they call them in this one. It's not Eidolons.
Icons.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah.
So having a big summon battle, that'll be interesting and fun. Hopefully it controls well. They've also announced for accessibility settings for the game are these magical rings you'll equip that give you better chances. So that way, like, you have a bigger dodge opportunity, I think was one of them, and stuff like that, which is nice.
Like an
nice
auto
to,
combo one. Like,
it's nice to see that they're at least putting them in.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. This gameplay is like actively making me dislike this more than I was already expecting. Like, it's a beautiful looking game. Like, it looks really great. It's visually speaking, but just the combat is like, there's nothing about it that's Final Fantasy. And there's like all these numbers popping up on the screen right now. Like, I hate that so much. I know, like, Final Fantasy, you see the damage, right? But like, there's like numbers like sprinkling everywhere all over, like when you're doing these combos, and it's just like, it's just a silly looking thing. Like,
but he cast fire there a minute ago.
the fire,
That's
looks
Final
cool.
Fantasy.
Yes, that's whatever version of it. Is it Faraga? I don't know, but probably not.
Base fire.
Base fire. But man, like, everything I read about it, like, this is Devil May Cry Bayonetta type game, right? This isn't even Final Fantasy 15 or Final Fantasy 7 remake style, sort of like half-step, like, menus sort of thing. Like, and even with like the items, like when he's picking up the items, there's just like glowy bits on the floor. Like, is he ever gonna open a treasure chest or something? Like, maybe. I like that.
I'm sure he'll kick a treasure chest open.
I hope so, because I love the physicalness of that. Like, God of War nailed it really well. Like, when you open up the treasure chest, it's awesome.
Yeah.
And they have it in Hogwarts Legacy as well. And there's various different types of chests in that game.
Yeah.
Man, even the level design here that you're seeing. I mean, like, it's just like battle arenas. Like, you're going from one arena to the next, right?
Yeah.
There's nothing else going on in this. And I know this is the combat focused demo, but if this is like a section of gameplay, like, you're doing nothing but just fighting enemies, and like, it doesn't feel like there's an exploration aspect so much to it. It's like, just go forward, go through this little grate here, open this, like, they had the guy opening the door, and it's like this quick time thing, like, hit the trigger or whatever, the button to open the gate, like, with your buddy who's somewhere behind you, and he just comes out like out of nowhere. Like, it's not for me, man. It's not for me.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And the icon battles, I don't know if we're going to get to it and how long this video is.
It's pretty long. I'm not going to show all of it, but
they sound, they sound like sort of glorified, like, interactive cutscenes, because they all sound like they have their own unique way they run. But they all it sounds like they're sort of like a different type of action, like, I have less combos, less attacks, and each attack's going to be like some, like, grand animation, and it's going to look this huge spectacle, and I'm sure it'll be amazing to look at, and it'll be nice to change up the pace of just hack and slashing. But I mean, I don't think I'm going to, if I played it, I would get to those icon battles and be like, wow, that was so much fun. I would be like, yeah, that looks really cool. But ultimately I'm gonna feel like, I'm hitting the buttons that I have to hit to make this go, basically to get to the next part, because it's gonna be almost like, it's not gonna be quick time event, but there are some sort of quick time stuff in this. sort of a version of that in the Daikon battles, in my view. And I know I think some of them are. I've heard someone said I heard that there is even like a sort of Panzer Dragoon sort of shooterish one of the boss battles. If that I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if that's where they got that from, but I mean that sounds interesting. That at least they're gonna break it up. It's almost like maybe there'll be mini games, which is at least nice.
Yeah. And obviously this version of Final Fantasy, this one will not come to PS4, so it's a PS5 only. So slowly but surely phasing out the PS4 now. So
characters are so like blandly colored. And that's like a more serious world in this time.
Yeah.
Hopefully the story is really interesting.
Yeah. Well, they said like how many hours of cutscenes are going to be in this game?
Over 11.
Over 11
I saw
hours.
that. Like,
yeah.
What do we have to compare to? Someone said, I made a comment somewhere, and someone said that like they showed a video of Final Fantasy VII Remake that had like 15 hours.
Mm-hmm.
Which I don't know if it was like, I didn't watch the video obviously, but like I don't think there was 15 hours of straight cutscenes so much as like maybe walking around, like slow walk talks as well.
That if you're including those, then that's about 15 hours of 7 Remake. Like cutscenes of 7 Remake, maybe I would say maybe like 6 hours, if that would seem about, and that's probably too high. I'm curious to see where we're gonna go with this story, and if it is actually gonna be like 11 hours. Like I know some people I saw were upset that they were saying the story would take you around 35 hours. And it's like, hey, that's fine by me.
No,
like if it's a good 35-hour story, and I am engaged and I'm really enjoying it, and every session ends with, I have to stop, but I can't keep playing.
Yeah,
I want to see what happens next. Great.
Yeah,
but we'll just have to wait and see. The only thing that I've kind of seen that I'm not as huge on is that it's mostly just focused on one character. I'm not switching to multiple characters. So it's like if you don't like Clive, his combat style and all that, you're kind of SOL. That's the only real like negative I have so far for it.
Yeah. I mean, this is a pretty lengthy cutscene going on here.
Yeah.
I do wonder if they're gonna have like. Did you ever play Xenosaga?
No.
Because there was a point in that where there was like, I had to say it was like almost 30 minutes of a cutscene. Like, I'm just like watching this thing going on. I'm like, what is happening? Like, I'm trying to like, I didn't expect it to be that long, and I'm like, I want to stop, but I can't. So I'm just gotta I gotta watch this cutscene.
Well, because I think this particularly breaks into a boss battle. Yeah. So.
Yeah. I mean, like, I want to play video games. I don't really want to watch them, and I like interesting, cool cutscenes, but you gotta have some brevity to them. Like, you can't have these like it's kind of like the thing in Quantum Break. Like, I watched those episodes in between, but it was weird, and I didn't. Yeah. It didn't flow well at all. Yeah. Have to I stopped playing the game, and I'm just
okay. Here you go, Carl. Cutscene over. Here you go.
Finally you get to the battle here.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny. It was the response I had to like the 15-hour thing in Final Fantasy VII Remake. I was like, wait, that game I beat in 27 hours. So you're telling me I only actually played 12 hours of a video game? That kind of explains why. I didn't really like it that much.
Quantum Break though was a different beast in itself. I mean, it was kind of a, it kind of made precedent for video games that also had a TV show type of aspect to them. So like you'd play like a certain amount of gameplay, and then it would be like a 10 or 15 minute TV episode. Yeah. So that was very different. Very different.
Your little quick times in between.
Yeah.
And then like they're flashy and interesting looking. I don't hate QuickTime stuff that much, but it's not the rest of the gameplay. That's kind of funny, showing like damage numbers in the QuickTimes.
So basically, Carl, the only reason you're not going to play this game is because of the damage numbers.
That's it. That's the reason. No, Like, what is it? If I don't know if either of you can figure this out, Burnley maybe because you're playing Hogwarts. Like, what is it about Hogwarts Legacy's third-person RPG, like action RPG gameplay that I enjoy, that versus this that I don't think I'm gonna enjoy?
I think it's of kind of a few things here because you've played a lot of numbers in this series, and it started out turn-based.
Yes,
it started out that way. You've seen it slowly progress, change, and you're not liking the direction it's been changing to.
What is
and
the
that
dog
this is,
doing there?
the dog's
dog
helping
just
you. It's
barking. I mean, just that's
So-
all he's doing though is barking.
No,
I
he
mean,
jumped in.
why
There
isn't he?
goes. So,
Okay. I was gonna
he's
say,
just-
why isn't he attacking, man? You know, it's like,
But as you've seen it change, and it's now gone to the way it's gone, you can't see this series going back to where its roots are, I would say.
yeah. I mean, but I like The Witcher, and I like
Yeah.
Hogwarts Legacy, and is there another similar one that I like? Well, I like
Yeah.
Shadow of War, and I like the Arkham games, and like those are actiony.
Yeah.
They're not
Yeah.
RPGs, but maybe RPG elements, right?
yeah.
Like this, I don't know what it is. Like it's just so. It's like they look like sponges almost. Like enemies are sponges, and it's just like maybe it's the fact that maybe it's this like in Hogwarts, like the enemies are sort of your playthings in a lot of ways.
Mhm.
Like
Yeah.
you throw them around, you flip them, you levitate them, you knock them around,
Freeze them, put them on fire,
Yeah,
whatever.
right.
whatever.
and like you feel like you're really impacting them. And I guess in something like this, and like your Devil May Cries and Bayonetta's, it just kind of feels like I'm wailing away at like a bar of damage, and eventually they will die. So,
Yeah.
maybe that's the difference.
I would say so, but I still think it's because the series has changed. This is kind of interesting with 16 being this way. I'm wondering if they did that, went more in this direction, so that way it's more differential, because later this year we're supposed to get FF7 Remake Part 2 Rebirth.
Yeah.
So that way you have them, they're similar, but they're quite different. So that way, if you don't like with what they're doing with 16, you've got what they did with Remake Part 1. I'm assuming Remake Part 2 will be quite similar to Remake Part 1. I can't see them being like, we're going to change the action combat even more in the direction of 16, unless 16 sells like 150 million units kind of thing, where they're like, okay, this is what we're doing for most of our series.
That was a pretty cool oxymoron there, Burley, that you just threw at us. Yeah. It's different, but it's quite similar.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. That's that for Final Fantasy. We can throw that oxymoron in there now. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, June 22nd, guys. Maybe it'll probably be out then. So we shall be looking forward to it. And next up is our topic of the show. So topic of the show is game series that had a knack for bad timing. Now, probably the number one game ever that's had a knack for bad timing, and a lot of the media outlets probably agree on this, is the Horizon series. Obviously, Horizon, the first Horizon, what was it, 2017, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it came out right at the same time that Breath of the Wild was coming out. And obviously, you had the comparisons to Breath of the Wild, Link and Aloy and everything. And of course, Breath of the Wild won the Game of the Year. And then, of course, Horizon Forbidden West comes out. Horizon Forbidden West. And what comes out with it? Elden Ring.
Yeah, good old Elden Ring.
So, I mean, this is a series that has just had a knack for bad timing. I don't know what Sony was thinking. Maybe they just felt like they had to get it out. Obviously, the story, the character is amazing in the game. But if it didn't come out at the same time as Breath of the Wild, if it didn't come out the same time as, Elden Ring, those two games possibly could have been Game of the Year. Obviously, now we've got with of course, we're showing some video footage here of Forbidden West, but obviously Forbidden West is it has the VR, Call of the Mountain out now. So for those people that have actually bought a PSVR 2, they're probably enjoying that. And then, of course, we have the DLC coming in April. So Burning Shores, which will be in like the Los Angeles area. So can that revitalize this? Obviously, having this game now, Forbidden West, on PlayStation Plus is a big boost. But there's a lot of games out there that never had that type of opportunity. So I kind of want to get your guys' thoughts on the Horizon series and how it's had a knack for bad timing. Do you believe some people actually kind of think this game, is just felt forgotten? Do you think it's been forgotten? And let's talk about some other games in the past that had, a similar situation. So, Carl, I'll start with you. And what do you think of the Horizon? Do you think it's a gem that's felt forgotten?
It's Horizon Forgotten West.
Kind of.
It is incredible that they ran into this juggernaut twice now. But Horizon Zero Dawn ended up selling really well over time.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem to be happening so much with Forbidden West yet because they haven't announced any sales numbers, and then putting it on PS Plus sort of, indicates something going on there. Mm-hmm. I do have a feeling that like part of that is testing the waters, and part of that is we have this DLC coming, and if people play it on PS Plus, they can buy the DLC. It gives you opportunity to sell more of that, because I'm sure the DLC is also really expensive to produce, because this is
and PS5 only.
Yeah, and these are big. Yeah, that is another thing. It is only on the PS5 version, right?
Yeah.
This is a big, expensive game to make, and the DLC is no slouch. I know from what they've done previously. This is a franchise that it's really, I love the first game. I think it's fantastic, and I want to play the second one. I just kind of wanted to wait till I had a PS5 to do it, because I think the PS4 version is probably, I'm sure it'll be fine. I don't know. I've thought about it before, and now that it's on PS Plus, I'm like, I guess I could subscribe 1 month if I feel like I got the time for it. If there's a lull somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
The PS4 version does run well. I have tested it.
Yeah,
but if you're gonna play the game, get yourself a PS5, Carl.
Yes.
Yes. But this franchise, like, they really doubled down into this franchise because they got they sort of tied it to their PSVR 2 launch, and they've said that they're working on like multiple other spin-offs. Like, they're going to do there's this multiplayer thing that they're working on in this universe. So they really need it to work and keep selling.
Yeah. Burley, your thoughts?
We'll go on.
Other games later. Carl put it really on the head. Forgotten West. It's just it's sad to say it came out in both games came at the wrong time, because it just got destroyed by this competition. But he is right. Zero Dawn sold well. It kept selling, and word of mouth kept bringing and getting people wanting to pick this up. And the marketing with the trailers for Zero Dawn, even after it just came out and kind of just was losing to Breath of the Wild, they kept pushing that trailer. I remember for months after the game came out, they're pushing the trailer out, and I was getting it on YouTube videos, and that helped me pick it up, because I didn't pick it up right away because I bought a Switch, so I bought the game later on the air.
I want to just throw out a little stat here. This is according to Twitch Tracker. So Burley, you'd probably be interested in this.
Yeah.
Horizon Forbidden West at its peak had 224,509 Twitch viewers. Now, over the last week, it's had 227.
Yeah.
It's not the kind of game that you'd even expect to continue to have that viewership.
Yeah, no, this was, yeah. This game, we still don't have the sales numbers of Forbidden West, and I think that's hugely telling. This game probably did not make back what Sony wanted to and sell what they were hoping.
Yeah,
them and Guerrilla were really hoping Forbidden West would really sell well. Unfortunately, they came out against Elden Ring and cut their butts kicked, unfortunately.
yeah, and a lot were probably digital purchases too. So
yeah,
probably had a lot more.
Digital made sense. I bought
Yeah.
digital because
Yeah,
A, I don't have to go get the disc, but
Yeah.
B, I got both PS4 and PS5 version.
Yeah.
So it was nice so I could use to compare.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
the DLC I'm hoping will reignite people and get people. I think it will help, but is it too little too late is the real question on that. Because we're now over a year since this game came out and still not as many people are talking about it because not as many people got inclined to jump in and play it. The PS Plus thing, I think, was more to just, hey, let's give it. We've got the DLC coming. Let's get it. We've lost quite a bit of subscribers on this service. Let's see if this is enough to entice people. Because we know some people have not played this.
Yeah. So anyway,
What are some other games, right?
I'll start. You guys remember 2010, right?
Vaguely.
PS3, Xbox 360 era. Do you remember the game Alan Wake? Obviously, it was a big game, but it was overshadowed by what game? And it won Game of the Year that year. Red Dead Redemption.
Okay.
Yes, that was a big one. That was a big one.
That's what I played.
Yeah. I played Red Dead on 360. I mean, but yeah, I mean, Alan Wake. I mean, that was one that was huge. And then another one for me, 2015. Obviously, I'm a big Tomb Raider fan. Love Lara Croft. Rise of the Tomb Raider, the second in the new trilogy, came out. But obviously, as you know, Carl, I had the 1-year exclusivity deal on Xbox, which kind of hurt it. But what game came out pretty much at the same time in 2015? You guys know?
No, I don't know.
Fallout 4.
Fallout
4.
Really?
Yeah,
Yes.
Fallout 4, yeah.
Yep.
I played
Yes,
both
Fallout
of those.
4. Yeah, Fallout 4 just destroyed it. Yeah. I mean, probably Rise of the Tomb Raider is the best of the three. It could have probably been considered for Game of the Year. And it was overshadowed by Fallout 4. Yeah. How about for you guys?
I remember. I mean, this is a weird one, but you remember Doom Eternal and Animal Crossing?
Yeah.
And like there were even like people on the internet like doing this cute like drawings of them together, the Doomslayer and the Animal Crossing character.
Yeah.
But they came
Isabel
out.
was the main character they used for those.
Okay.
I remember those.
Yeah. And they came out very similar. I don't know, was this maybe even the same day, the same week, probably. And obviously, Animal Crossing was just a monster hit for some reason. I mean, it was a pandemic era, like perfect pandemic era game. I mean, not that Doom Eternal didn't sell well, because I think it did.
Sold okay.
Yeah, I don't think it probably would have gotten more attention had Animal Crossing not been this just wild juggernaut at that time.
Yeah. Burley, do you have one?
You took mine with Alan Wake and Red Dead, because like I seriously like I look and it's like it is kind of hard to, because you got to go back and look and be like, I'm checking also like numbers and stuff like,
yeah. But
I know there's been quite a few, but it's just hard to, because after so many years, you'll forget of, oh yeah, this game came out destroyed, and we all forgot about this game. Because some of these games, once you forget about them, they're out of your memory. You never.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing with going back to games that, didn't get a lot of attention. You're always distracted by the new thing coming out. And there's less and less people talking about that weird, obscure thing. And like, you feel like you're like, yeah, why am I going to go play this game? I'll just play the big, fresh, fancy new thing.
Yeah.
What do we think is going to be the next game? Is there something coming this year? Do we think all right, here's a good one. Can Starfield step on like Final Fantasy 16? Let's say they come out like the same month, like really close to each other.
Well,
see that one's if that, let's say they did come out at the same, like within a week
like
or
a
two
week
of each other.
Yeah.
That would be a weirder one because they're both not on the same platform. Because you got that's Xbox and one that's on PlayStation.
There's the PC angle, right? Because you got Xbox and PC for Starfield, and PC should be huge for that Bethesda type of game. And Final Fantasy 16 is only PS5, no PC.
Yeah. Well, then you got, of course, Tears of the Kingdom. So,
which is
that could be a game. Who knows, Carl? I mean, Starfield Starfield could overshadow that.
I think Redfall will. I mean, it's earlier than it's like, but I don't know. Redfall's not in that league, so I wouldn't even say.
Yeah. Okay, guys.
Redfall.
I'll give you one more, guys. I'll give you one more, and this is Japanese related. You guys remember, of course, now it's called Like a Dragon, Ryuga Gotoku, but previously, obviously, the series of Yakuza. Yakuza 6, Song of Life, came out in Japan 3 years earlier than it did in the West. It came out in 2015 in Japan. But then out West, you guys got it in 2018, and it was completely overshadowed by 2018, guys.
God of War?
That's right. God of War. Yeah. I mean, if God of War didn't come out, Yakuza 6 probably would have been one of the biggest games of the year.
I think you're giving it a little too much credit.
Well,
it's a tad.
That's an example of a game that had come out 3 years previously, and then it comes out to the West.
Yeah, that's a weird.
Here we go. We've had this 3 years. You Westerners can now finally have this. Oh shit! We're going against the big revival of one of Sony's biggest franchises. We're screwed.
Yeah, and I guess it was probably only on PlayStation when it came out, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Because it later came to Xbox, but it definitely wasn't at launch.
Yeah.
So that I mean, I'm sure the sales were pretty damn low.
Yeah.
In the West for audience, but I mean, Yakuza is now getting more play, which is good. Was it Yakuza 0 was after that, right?
Yakuza 0, yeah.
Was that after 6?
I think so.
None of that one actually, I think, did much better.
Yeah.
I love that picture of Aloy you got there.
Yeah. Yeah, and this now for all of you video viewers, this is the trailer for the Burning Shores. One other one I want to say for you guys, 2017. It was a big year, obviously. You had 3 big games come out: Assassin's Creed Origins, Assassin's Creed. You had Super Mario Odyssey, and the Wolfenstein 2, the New Colossus. The New Colossus was overshadowed, obviously, by Mario and the Assassin's Creed, because Assassin's Creed Origins that year, was kind of shifting away from the usual Assassin's Creed type of games. So more of a RPG elemental style to it. So, good stuff. Yeah, that's interesting, Carl. You bring up this year because there could be a lot of games that get overshadowed. So we shall see.
Yeah, and we got Diablo 4 in June as well.
Yep.
That's the thing of very different audience probably than Final Fantasy, and I mean Starfield. There should be some overlap at like the PC side. If again, I'm assuming Starfield June. Like we don't know, but
No.
that's the prevalent prediction right now.
Yeah, definitely. All righty. So that was our topic of the show. So games that have been overshadowed over time. Horizon, of course, is it a forgotten gem? Let's hope not. All of you that haven't played it yet, go and play it. It's an amazing game. So Horizon Zero Dawn, Horizon Forbidden West, and of course next month in April, the Burning Shores DLC is coming. And then of course, any of you out there that forked out $550 Burley, how much in Canada for PSVR 2?
Just the PSVR 2 is 700 something before tax.
So in Canada, 700 something if you dished out that amount of money to play Call of the Mountain. So let us know in the comments what you thought of that. And
the bundle with Call of Mountain is 849 before tax.
I stand corrected. There you go. So.
Is that much more? I mean, isn't the game like it's not a full price game?
Yeah, but that's because like if you do the bundle with that, you get the extra VR stuff like the charging and all that.
Oh, okay.
It's
you need that charge dock from what I hear because
yeah.
the battery life on those things is probably enough for like a VR session, but
yeah,
if you're not plugging it in after every session, you're probably not gonna be able to use it very much.
Right.
And if you don't have like a convenient dock, I would be it's probably pretty annoying. Like I gotta plug this in. All these things like you just want to drop it in and charge it.
Right.
But you know what? We've been over a week with PSVR 2. I've really heard nothing. So I think this is going to stem with my prediction of it's going to sell 5,000 units and not do well.
They're not going to tell us how many units sold. That's for sure.
Oh yeah, no, they're not going to tell us. No. Shit, Burley's onto us. We only sold 4,728 units. We can't let him be right.
Yeah.
It's like, what number would they even be proud about saying? Maybe 2 million. If like they could get to 2 million at some point, they probably want to say that. But
yeah,
within like I don't know. I'd say within like the first 2 years, if they could hit 2 million, that maybe they'd say that.
Yeah.
Yeah. We shall see. Yeah, we shall see. Yeah, and I don't think we'll get any kind of figures on the NPD reports either on VR sales or anything like that. So,
yeah, well, I mean, they're not going to chart, right?
No,
like, Call of the Mountain's not going to chart.
No. So, okay, so it's time to move on to the new game releases for the week of March 6th through the 12th. So I'm up first, guys. So my pick of the week is Dead Cells. Return to Castlevania. The inspiration behind it all returns to its 2D action roots. Castlevania's unforgettable characters and gothic setting meet the fast-paced combat of the award-winning roguelike Dead Cells in this unprecedented collaboration. So, a gateway to a striking castle has suddenly appeared, and an imposing warrior called Richter asks you to help him vanquish the great evil within. So, it comes out for PC, PS4, PS5, Switch, Xbox One, and Xbox Series S and X on March 6th. Yeah.
I wonder if it's finally going to answer the question I've always had. What is a man?
Yeah, really. Yeah. Good stuff.
I'm
looking forward to it.
Classic, man. That Symphony of the Night is so funny when you watch it. Even still today, if you watch that.
Well, that's what I love that because like I have the Xbox Live arcade version, and I will whip that out on the Series S every so often. Mm-hmm. But if you buy the repackage that they did a couple years ago, it's not that version. It's the PSP version of Symphony of the Night, so it doesn't have all those great cheesy lines and all that.
Yeah.
So it's like it's like, oh, we've added this stuff to make it easier. It's like, that's great and all. Give me the cheesy dialogue. I need all that.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, but Dead Cells is something I mean to check out. And with this DLC, I will definitely have to buy some kind of bundle.
Yeah.
Grab this.
So for all you video viewers, you can go to the website there below, releases.com. You can check out all the games there that are coming out for the month of March. So, Carl, you're up next. What do you have for us?
I'm gonna say Mato Anomalies. It's
Yeah,
a
that's
turn-based. It's a turn-based RPG that takes players on a journey across Mato, a fantasized neo-futuristic version of the old Shanghai. Take control of the dual protagonists Do and Graham to investigate strange anomalies around the city, or venture into rifts to battle demonic abominations determined to bring about the city's downfall. This is coming out March 10th on PC, PS4, 5, Switch, Xbox One, Xbox Series, SX. And yeah, this is one that I heard about prior to this week. I didn't just discover this one because you know, whenever there's a turn-based, you know, sort of JRPG looking thing coming to Xbox, you know, I usually get wind of it. There's not too many.
Yeah.
Do your ears just go up and be like,
yeah, I'm like,
JRPG?
ooh, I mean, I always want to. It's not like I don't like all of them. I don't play all of them, but I always take a look at them. You know.
Yeah.
And this one looks interesting. You know, it looks like a you know, maybe like this is like a lower budget, like in between sort of
lower budget Persona animation style. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's definitely starting to get into that realm there, and it's double A, but you know, it could be good. I'll be checking out reviews. I'll be looking into it.
Yeah. You can get it on the Switch. Yeah, there you go.
Get the art book.
The art book. There you go, Burley. Art book. Not steel book. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Well, art book's better than nothing, but you know me, I got a weakness for steel books.
Yeah.
I do have the Final Fantasy 16 pre-ordered with the steel book.
Okay. Okay.
I still only have 2 steel books.
Yeah.
One of them I got for free.
All right, Burley, you're up next. What do you got for us?
My pick of the week is Melon Journey Bittersweet Memories. Melon Journey Bittersweet Memories is a story exploration game about revisiting a town full of adorable animals with eccentric personalities. It is cute and nostalgic. Surface lies a dark tale of crime and corruption. It's coming in. Hold on, because I know it's coming on like one of the platforms first.
It's coming eventually.
Okay, it's coming PC first. March 6th. Coming PC, PS4, PS5, Switch, Xbox One, Xbox Series.
Okay.
So it is coming on everything. I do love like because it reminds me of like the old Game Boy art style, but high def-ified.
Yeah. Yeah.
And having this cute art style with a dark story, you gotta love it.
Yeah. Yeah, very Game Boy style. Yeah. Good stuff. Yeah. Yeah, and I like the coloring in it too. Just the greenish. Yeah. Greenish and white. Yeah. Art style there.
Yeah, no, that. And hey, I think this may actually run. I would hope run well on the Switch, but thankfully it's not just locked to the Switch; it's on everything.
Yeah,
even your smart fridge.
I sure hope the Switch doesn't struggle to run this.
Yeah, Carl. I'm sure the Switch won't have any problems with this one.
Should be all right.
Yeah, should be good. Yeah. So should be good to go, I think. So, all right. So those were our picks of the week for March 6th through the 12th. So of course you can go to releases.com and see all of the games that are coming out this week, as well as for the whole month of March. So please go and check that out. So Carl, are we going to talk about Xbox Game Pass? Anything coming to Game Pass that we haven't already talked about?
Oh, I didn't bring it. I didn't leave it up. But Soul Hackers 2 is it? It's out already now on Game Pass. Actually, all these. So I guess we missed last week for some reason. But there was just in addition to Wolong, there was Soul Hackers 2, there was F1 2022, and what was the other one? Why don't I have it up here? Come on, can't find it.
Alrighty.
Yeah, one of the racing games too. think it's
Yeah, that
F1
was
or something like
F1.
that.
That was
yeah.
F1.
So,
Yeah, 2022.
yeah.
And another smaller game.
Yeah. Burley, have you played Soul Hackers 2 yet?
I have not.
Okay.
Merge and Blade, it's called.
I will try it. I've been told good. Like I've been told from other people, it's a good turn-based JRPG.
Mm-hmm.
But it's one of those things of I have enough of those that I've bought that I haven't finished.
Right.
Let's play the ones that I bought. I'm
Right.
trying to be smarter of if I'm not buying if I'm not buying the game right now. If I'm buying it right now, I got to play it within a week. Start playing it within a week.
Yeah.
Yeah, generally I just play if I buy a game, I'm gonna play it. Like that's for sure.
Yeah.
And I did play Soul Hackers 2 when I bought it. But it just wasn't really clicking for me. And like when I talked about it then, I hadn't played Persona 5 Royal, and now that I have, I see that it's Persona 5 Lite, and the characters aren't as good, and the story isn't as interesting, and the gameplay, the combat isn't as good. Like it has its own unique spin on that style.
Yeah.
But I don't. It's not as good, and it's not like as snappy as Persona 5 is. Like those battles feel quick, and you feel like you're always making interesting decisions in those. And that one, it just felt like, I don't know. It felt a little tedious.
Yeah. Well, I'll recommend a series for you. It's kind of Persona Light. Danganronpa. Play those games, and some of them are on Game Pass as well. So Danganronpa is very good. So check those out. Alrighty, so there was a little other bit of news this week, and Carl, I'll let you talk about this a little bit. But of course, pertaining to the Activision Blizzard Xbox deal, obviously, it seems like Sony is kind of put in a corner now. A judge basically ordered them now to give a lot of documents over to Microsoft pertaining to what Microsoft was asking for, especially when it comes to exclusivity deals and some of Jim Ryan's communications and all. So, what is that all about? And where is this acquisition, at this point?
Yeah, well, I mean, the most recent thing is that it looks like the EU is going to pass it.
Yeah.
That's sort of been coming out in, there's I guess rumors or people talking from, behind the scenes saying like, yeah, this is probably going to go down. And then you just have the CMA, which is the UK authority, and we don't know what they're going to do. But there's the EU decision may impact that, and the FTC thing is what we're talking about here with this information in this case with Sony, is because the FTC is suing Microsoft to block the merger, right? That's how they go about it.
Yeah.
And because of that, Microsoft is then allowed to ask for information from Sony, because Sony was actively part of the process of trying to make arguments against this deal. So Sony, got themselves into this situation, and they've been pushing this off for quite a while. They've been asking for extensions on getting these documents, and they got a ruling recently, and they pretty much lost everything. They lost every point that they tried to make.
Yep.
The one big point the biggest point that they got any sort of concession on that I know of was the time frame that they have to, because Microsoft asked for additional years on exclusivity contracts or third-party agreements, right?
Yeah.
So now they have to give them everything from 2019 on, as far as third-party agreements. Which will be all the exclusivity stuff. So that'll be really interesting. I mean, I would have liked to have them go back more, but I think you can take what you get from 2019 and on and extrapolate that backwards in your argument to say, like, look how much they're doing here. I mean, that they've been doing it for this many years. Like the argument's going to be very strong with that information they're going to get. They were actually asking for 10 years at Xbox, Microsoft, which I mean, those deals probably happen a while back. So like it'd be interesting. I think you should see more years back because what 2019 is going to include what Final Fantasy VII Remake, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
But the thing is, when was that deal made? Well, like I wonder, like, are they going to have to disclose that, or will they be like, well, no, the game came out then, but like we made the deal back, before that. I don't know how that works out.
Yeah. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if in those documents anything about Fortnite, because especially with Sony, not wanting Fortnite to be, multi-platform when it comes to, players being able to play together.
Oh, the crossplay.
The crossplay.
I do wonder
Yes.
if that stuff is included. I mean, are those third-party agreements? I suppose. Yeah,
They should be. Yeah. So
I would imagine so. That I'm more interested to see because like there's so many games that over the last couple of years I still wish, like Elden Ring for number one. Why is that not crossplay? And like it still hasn't come out. Like people assume it's Sony, and it probably is a good safe assumption that it was Sony because Sony's been bad about that for years.
Yeah.
But still, we never got anything came out. That FromSoft never said anything.
Yeah, I mean, it was the Epic versus Apple case where we got that leak that showed us that Sony was charging basically a tax, an additional charge for people who wanted to do crossplay or to these publishers or developers. So you got to imagine that Elden Ring, that's possibly a factor.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But also I don't always blame Sony for that because it is additional work to make that happen.
Oh yeah.
And they might not be that well versed in it or even care to do it.
Yeah.
Well, in the case for Elden Ring, I don't think it was Sony. If you play the game and you play the online on for it, or any of FromSoft's games, because the online are never good. That's one. No, seriously. Like I played the Demon Souls remake, that and Bloodborne. The online in those are terrible. Like that's one of the reasons why I can never see their games get a 10 out of 10. If you're gonna put online in there and you're gonna make it such like Nintendo quality, like you guys are on the level of Nintendo for your online, which is not where you want to be. That's not a compliment. Yeah,
that stuff always felt like a novelty. Like it's like not core to the game, but it's like a kind of a neat extra feature. I don't know if you remember Fable 2 had
I played Fable 2 when it came out.
Yeah.
It wasn't great, but I was like, oh, this is cool. I can play with friends, But it's not like something that you were selling the game on for sure.
No, but Fable 2's online actually worked pretty consistently from I remember using it.
Yeah.
Elden Ring and some of these others, I have spent, when you're streaming, you're trying to get people in with you. I've spent 15 to 20 minutes just trying to bring one person into the game.
Oh, that sucks.
And when you're wasting that kind of time just to get someone to come into your world and help you or go into their world, it's just like it just gets me angrier or more frustrated. And
it's also a regional thing too, because like one of the big streaming games, as you know, Burley, Dead by Daylight. I mean, out here in Japan, I tried, on my Twitch channel, I tried to play it once, and it took over 30 minutes to try to get someone into the queue. And I'm just like, okay, nah. Yeah, because being out here in Japan and then trying to get into the servers out west, it's crazy.
Yep.
But all right, it's time to talk about the games that we're going to be playing for the upcoming week. So I'm going to be continuing, like I said at the beginning of the show, with the Quarry on my PlayStation 5, and on the Xbox Series X, I will be playing Wolong, Fallen Dynasty. So I will be continuing with those games. So, Burley, what are you going to be playing this coming week?
I'll be playing Hogwarts Legacy, finishing up the story and finishing some side content on stream. Okay. Hoping to try and put some time in Fire Emblem Engage this week, but I doubt it. But we also got the announcement of the new Mario Kart DLC comes out on Thursday.
Oh,
So
no. There go.
you bet your butt I'm going to be streaming that.
Oh goodness.
So
Okay. Yeah. That should be fun. Yeah.
oh yeah.
Awesome. Carl, how about you, man?
Just Hogwarts, most likely.
Okay.
I don't know if I'll get to anything else.
All right.
Feeling
So
like-
now I know what we'll be talking about on next week's episode
Yeah,
when it
right.
comes to the games we've been playing. Yeah. So awesome.
I'm feeling a little turn-based itch. Like I wanna play something else, but like I'm loving my time with Hogwarts. Like I'm just
Yeah.
Well, you do have a Switch Lite, and one game you're looking forward to in August that's Canadian made put a demo out on the Switch.
Yeah.
Sea of Stars.
See the stars.
There you go. There you go.
There's a demo. I could jump into that. Yeah.
Awesome. All right. Is Sea of Stars, is that coming to Switch, Burley?
Yep,
Just-
it's coming to Switch,
Okay, good, good.
PlayStation, PC,
Okay.
Xbox. I don't think has been officially
Nice.
announced.
Okay, maybe I'll play it on the Switch then. Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
people keep harping on them to bring it to like announce the Xbox, and I'm like, yo, you gotta chill out a little bit. Like they're indies. Like
Yeah.
I give it to Square Enix all the time for that. Okay, because
they're
you're a
big-
big AAA. Like you have no excuse. But when you're an indie, like I get it, I understand. It's
Yeah.
you can't do
Especially when
everything at once.
Sony and Nintendo have come to them with marketing money.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's
Yeah.
part of that's probably, but yeah, that's part of it. But like you got your platforms you're working on, and you got it. You want to hit your release, and you want those to be relatively bug free and perform well. And they said there's no exclusivity. So like I'm assuming that after release date, they will eventually say something about it, and it will come to Xbox later. Like it's like you can't pressure these indies, because honestly, if I was an indie dev and I was seeing some of the things people are saying, I'd be like, fuck it, no Xbox version.
Yeah.
Like it's a little disrespectful.
Okay. Well, with that said, it's time to end the show with our indie recording artist spotlight. So this week's spotlight is on Generation Lost. After a 7-year hiatus from music to concentrate on photography and filmmaking, duo Mango Street, Daniel Inskeep makes a musical return as Generation Lost, creating textured sample-based music that combines various genres in a dynamic, captivating environment. As a filmmaker himself, Daniel thoughtfully produces tracks that perfectly complement film and video, with evolving instrumentation and textures to accompany on-screen action. From his album titled Frames, and the song is called Arcade. So this has been The Arena, a multi-platform gaming news podcast, episode 125. I've been your host, Expat, along with my co-hosts, Burley of Burleman Gaming and Turn-Based Carl. So we want to thank all of you, of course, all of you audio listeners as well, but all of you as well here on YouTube for watching. And of course, our ad-free version will go up to our Patreon as well. So if you want to come and support us over there, come and check us out. And you can support us here on the YouTube channel, of course, by becoming a member as well, which we have awesome perks for you. So anyway, that's going to do it for us. We hope to catch you in the next one. So enjoy the outro and take care, everyone. Peace out.